Pixel 7, 6 months later. Still a fantastic phone. Now, a lot has happened since this phone has come out, and I think it's withstand some tests. I think that it's had a little bit of turmoil here and there, especially when it came to a few software updates, and folks who are having issues with the camera lens spontaneously shattering and the buttons falling out, but small minority fraction. The overall picture with the Pixel 7, I still think it's one of the best phones that you can get. I think it's one of the best flagship level phones for most folks. And I think it's still hands down the best point and click shooter or tap and shoot shooter for pictures that you can get. It's a fantastic phone, MSRP $599. Now, it's been significantly cheaper than that quite a bit. This phone went on sale. It went on sale fast. And basically, by the time the holiday season rolled around, a month after it came out, you could already get it for $100 cheaper. Or, yeah, $100 cheaper. They've had it on sale a lot since then. There was even a deal like 6-8 weeks ago. You could get it with Mint Mobile with a year of service if you switched over to their carrier for $298. I've seen it on sale with activation for $399. They've even got it for $499 with activation at Best Buy right now. So when you take a look at this, on paper, 50 megapixel camera. It's got the pixel camera experience. It's got a 6.3 inch screen on here, which 1080p, 90 hertz refresh rate. You've got about a 4,500 milliamp battery or 4,400 milliamp battery, which is plenty battery. Gets you all day battery. At least for me, it has anyway. And you get a really nice experience. I think that the stock Google experience has really been elevated and upgraded over the last couple of years, and it's not exactly what it used to be. We used to call it vanilla Android. And I don't think vanilla Android is really a good way to talk about it anymore, especially with Material U, all the different colors, different profiles, all the ways that they built out the icons. I think it's substantially better than what it was in the days of yesteryear, like the Pixel 5, Pixel 4, Pixel 3. It just felt very bland and very vanilla. And I don't really feel like it feels that way when you use it anymore. Plus, of course, you got the NFC payments, you can use your Google Pay, and you've got all the great software features and stuff. You've got the photo unblur, you've got the magic eraser, you've got the Google Translate. There's all those different things. You've got the call assistant with the call waiting, and you can screen and call screen stuff with it. There's a lot of features on here that Google's put a lot of effort into, and of course, they are the author of Google. So you would kind of expect the best experience there. Now, I will say, I made a video recently saying that Google was no longer the king of updates. Just hasn't been all the great. They haven't been number one in reliability. They've had a couple times since this phone has come out where the update hasn't come out on time. It's had bugs, it had issues. They've had to punt it down the road a couple of weeks. And Samsung really has been doing a better job of being more reliable in that department, at least about over the last year or so. So I said that they were dethroned as the update leader. Now, is that something that reflects negatively on this phone in particular? It's basically all the Pixel phones, but I will say that this phone has been pretty good. I think it's been a very substantial upgrade over last year. Like the Pixel 6, I thought was a good phone. I really enjoyed it. I know it had some baggage with it, but when they went back to the drawing board, Google Tensor 2, and they gave us the better selfie in here. They didn't leave us with the older selfie like the Pixel 6, and they just brought a couple extra things to it. The Pixel 7, I think, has been a really solid phone. And I think that most people who have picked one up have really enjoyed it. I know people have come over from iPhone. I know people have come over from Samsung. They've got the Pixel 7, and they've been like, wow, this is a fantastic phone, especially for the price. And that's one of the big things Google has been doing. They've been waging basically a price war against, well, the big guys like Samsung and Apple. And it's kind of funny, like Google in the mobile department's not a big guy, even though they're like the third largest, most valuable company on the planet. But in the phone arena, they're not necessarily one of the big guys, but they kind of have the horsepower. Like they've got the money, they've got some maneuverability, and they've brought one great aspect to the game, especially in today's economy, and that is affordable phones. Flagship performance and affordability. That's something you haven't really been able to say a whole lot when you take a look at Samsung, you take a look at Apple. They're all about squeezing as many dollars out of you as possible and taking away some features, but still charging you tons and tons of money. Well, that's where this guy comes in. $599 MSRP. We've had it, you can get it some places now, $499 even, and it's been even lower than that. Now, there is some conversation about the Pixel 7a, and it's supposed to be coming out, it's supposed to be announced at Google I/O next month. So they're saying that phone's going to be $499. And I just don't see a Pixel 7a at $499. It's really supposed to be a budget series. It's supposed to be I always associate A with affordability, and affordability, practicality, lower budget tier, but still gives you a lot of the same features. And they really kind of rewrote the playbook when it came to the Pixel 6a. Now, I've got the Pixel 6a as well. And when they put the Google Tensor in here, it kind of changed things. I mean, when you took a look at the previous phones, they had 7 series Snapdragon processors. They weren't quite on the same level. Now, we have the Pixel 7. It's got the Tensor G2 in it. Now, there were a lot of upgrades to it, but to see like the 6A with the Tensor 1, now the 7A is going to have the Tensor 2. So that puts it quite squarely on the same level with the Pixel 7 in a lot of areas. But here's the thing. It's been out 6 months. It's a better, more premium phone. Now, what we're anticipating with the 7A, they're talking about 5-watt wireless charging. Like, how meaningful is 5-watt wireless charging? I don't really see a whole lot of value in that. This one has 20-watt wireless charging. That's a little bit more helpful. But on a grand scale, taking a look at what you get here, if you can already get this on sale for $499, what's the point of a $499 Pixel 7a that's not as good? I mean, you get maybe a little bit longer support. You might get a couple extra software patches. You might get one extra quarterly feature drop. But by and large, you're going to get largely the same experience. So my thought process is Pixel 7. And again, I think it gets all-day battery life. I think you've got a quality camera in here. The video stuff has been really upgraded over the last 2 years since we moved over to the Tensor platform, and they've put a lot more emphasis. The video is better on here than it was last year. You've got all the great expanded software features. Of course, it's great for machine learning, AI stuff, doing all those things on board, especially like voice to text, still top notch anywhere. They have the best speech to text. And even, of course, you can send like a voice message to someone and it'll translate it and transcribe it to text. So that's pretty cool too. There's just a lot of things that Google has really done well with this phone and then priced it so well. It just really undercut the competition. I mean, and part of the competition is not even here anymore. I mean, we don't have an S22 FE, S23 FE. Like the FE series, for all we know, is dead and gone. And when you look at the iPhone world, well, there's not quite anything quite on this price level either that's not an older phone. And I don't think the iPhone SE really competes with this phone. So it really kind of stands alone in a very premium level phone with some high quality performance. You've got the Google Tensor 2 chip in it, which is a really good chip, and especially for all the stuff that Google really does best. Like they're not out there fighting the benchmark wars trying to see who can get the highest score on an Antutu or a benchmark. Can you play flagship games on here, AAA titles? Yes, you can. Can you use it to take top quality, top-notch pictures and shoot some good video? Yes, you can. Is it great for day-to-day performance? Yes, it does a lot of great things. So I think at $599, they really, really hit a sweet spot for it. And I think that 6 months later, it's still a very good phone. I think it's the best Pixel phone to buy for most folks. And I think it's a great phone for anybody to consider looking at phones around this price point. And there are other phones that are good to look at too, like the OnePlus 11. I really like the OnePlus 11, and I think, at $699 MSRP, it's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's a little bit more built out, a couple more quality things you get, like all 3 cameras. You get the telephoto, you get the macro capability, you get the Quad HD Plus resolution, and you get the 5,000 milliamp battery, really fast charging. So there's a lot of good stuff there too, and I've made some video comparisons, but if you like Google, if you're tired of Samsung, if you're tired of Apple, if you want a good quality phone that does basically whatever you need it to, but still has that flagship level air to it, this is it. And I think that Google's done an excellent job with it. Of course, it has IP68, it has Gorilla Glass Victus, it has top-notch quality camera, which I think, of course, it still has the best shutter speed. It has the best when it comes to point-and-shoot camera photography. And that's important to a lot of people. And that's one of the things that Google's been so good at for so long. You just press the button, you take the shot, and you get a really good photo. You don't have to wait for all this crazy focus stuff to come into play. You don't have any shutter lag. You don't have to do a whole lot of post-photography editing and filters and things like that. Of course, you can if you want. Some people really like doing that. But if you just want to pull it up, tap real quick, get a great photo, that's what they're for. And that's what it's really, really good at. And that's one of the things I think people really appreciate when it comes to the Pixel series phones, especially the Pixel 7. So, got everything you need all wrapped up in one nice bundle. It's got a 1080p resolution, 90 hertz refresh rate, which I think is good for a lot of people. Like you can definitely tell a difference between 60 hertz and 90 hertz. I know some people say they can't really tell a difference between 90 and 120. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But the 90 is definitely nicer, smoother, and it feels definitely it's a more enjoyable experience than what you get with the 60 hertz, at least for me anyway. So wrapping all this up, I know I've talked a little bit about the hardware, a little bit about the context, the marketability, the price, but overall, the redundant message I've had since this phone has come out is I think that it's probably one of the best phones out there in the Android market, even competing with the iPhone market at a great price for a lot of folks. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, then please go to the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.